This is a tutorial for setting up a Zoom meeting. First, you're going to go to zoom.com or zoom.us and sign in. Enter your email address and username, and you get into your account. If you already have meetings scheduled, they're going to show up here. What we're going to do is schedule a new meeting, either here at this bar, or you could do it over here on the upper right. You're going to want to collect some information prior to your meeting from your organizer, and a separate checklist will be made available for that purpose. In any case, enter the name of the meeting. I'm going to do that right up here in the top. In this case, I'm going to put down who the organizers are just for reference. Put the date in for the meeting. Enter the time that it's to start. In this case, we're going to start the meeting actually at 7:45 p.m. Change that again. It's being stubborn. It doesn't really matter. That's just really for the purpose of the automated system. We'll make this an hour and a half. Again, that doesn't really affect too much. This is not a recurring meeting, and we will not require registration. We're going to have it generate a meeting ID automatically and require a meeting password, which will generate automatically. Let's see if we can get this time to change again. There we go. Just had to click on it. We're going to have the host video on and the participant videos on. We'll do audio both by computer and by telephone. Meeting options. Enable join before host. We can enable that for this meeting. Mute participants upon entry. I recommend that this usually be done. This way, if they're not aware of how to mute and unmute themselves, they're already muted for the meeting. Enable waiting room. In this case, I don't want to do that for this meeting. We're going to uncheck that. If you have the enable waiting room checked off, the person can't get into the meeting until the host allows them in. And usually on the Zoom meeting, there'll be a pop-up on the right that says that someone's trying to get into the meeting. Only authenticated users can join. We're not going to check this off. I believe that means that they have to have a Zoom account, and not everyone necessarily has a Zoom account. And record the meeting automatically. That's going to remain unchecked. There's no reason to record this meeting. Alternative hosts. If someone else has a paid account and they want to be a host so they can launch the meeting and manage the meeting also, you can enter their email address here and they will automatically be able to do that. Just looking at a couple of other settings really quick before we go on. What I'm going to do is, actually, let me go back. I'm going to save this meeting. And that meeting now appears. It's called a Ritual Meeting. It's on May 7th at 7:45 p.m. You can add it to your calendars automatically. Here's your meeting ID, and the password is showing up here. This is the URL. Now, you should note, the URL includes the actual password in an encrypted format. Not an encrypted format, but a coded format. If you go to copy the invitation, you have the full link here, right? You can just do copy meeting invitation, and it copies everything to the clipboard for you, okay? Now, you should be aware that when you send out your invitation, I'm going to pull something else over here, as though we're writing an email. When I paste this, here's my Zoom meeting. Normally when I send out the email, I'm going to just get rid of some of this stuff here because I type out my own message. However, if you don't want them to automatically have the password populate when they click on the link, you need to delete everything from the question mark over. That is the meeting without the password. Here's your meeting ID, which matches up, and here's the password that they'll have to type in manually. I also get rid of the area phone numbers. They're not necessary. This is redundant information, but you can leave it if you want. Okay? So here's your information on the meeting. You can save this as a template if you wish. And then we can also go back and edit this meeting. And in this case, if you wanted to require registration, a whole different series of options comes up at the bottom of the email. Here we go. Here are the registration options. So you will wind up with registered people. There's the options here for registration. You want to edit this to automatically approve or manually approve. That means if it's manually approved, each person, once they try to register, will have to be granted permission by the organizer. Check off whether you want to have a notification sent to the organizer. And then these other two obvious options. Close of registration after the event date, which should be done. Usually sending the email to the host when someone registers is a good idea. You can create questions, gathering their first name, their last name. Let's see. First name and email address are always required. I sometimes get their phone number also. And questions and comments. I'm also going to do that. And in this case, for the questions, I'm going to create a new question. Did you find out about this meeting? Right? In case you want to find out how someone came to find out about an event that you're hosting. Okay? Email settings. Who the contact email is for this event. And the email that's going to go out. So what you want to do is you want to edit this and make sure you have this checked off, send confirmation email to registrants, and you can slightly edit the content of this email in this box, and in this box, and in this box. That's it. That's all that's involved for setting up a meeting. In this case, I'm going to uncheck the require registration for this meeting, because I don't want to have people have to registration. So in order to turn off the registration, I have to go back into editing the meeting. And we're going to uncheck this box here. Hit save. And there's our basic meeting. If we go back to our full meetings, you can see that meeting is here, Thursday, May 7th. Oops, there it is, Thursday, May 7th at 7:45 p.m., ritual meeting.